Satnam, my love. Satnam, how are you? For those of us in the northern United States, it is Thanksgiving weekend, so it can be all about the holidays. Yesterday I was saying that, we run around saying happy holidays, and yet so often our actions are not, that, not that holiday-like, right? And today I wanted to come. No, actually, I almost didn't want to come. And if you're joining, let me know where you're joining from. I'd love to hear from you. But I almost didn't want to come and join you. That's why I have come to join you. So I've come to join you because I didn't want to come to join you, because I'm not really feeling the holiday spirit, and I'm actually not really terribly much of a holiday person per se. I've generally found them to be more disappointing and more challenging than they are enriching, and so I've chosen for many years to spend most holidays alone. But it makes people very uncomfortable for you to be alone on the holidays, or for you to not feel holiday happy, or whatever that sensation is, that people get whipped up to. And it's great if you love the holidays and you're like a holiday spirit person. That's awesome. But what about those of us that don't, that feel, once again, like we ones that are the odd ones, made to feel bad, or the Scroogey ones? But most often behind the disdain for the holiday, or behind the lack of holiday spirit, there's often a story, right? There's often the holidays have meant something. And as I said, mine, I from first leaving home, and I can possibly before that, but leaving home and going back, and they were just not. No words for them. Don't need to describe them. Just not. So, and then when you're, around out in the world, everyone's all about the holidays, and that can just be quite challenging as well. So, and make it seem like you're the only person that's not feeling it, or you feel bad because you're not feeling exactly in the holiday spirit. A little blue right now. I know it will improve. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is yes, most likely this too shall pass, because everything does. But when we're in it, and then if it's around the holidays, it just seems to be like a double whammy. But at the end of the day, our feelings are feelings, and we just can't be happy all the time. And that's the main cause of our unhappiness, is our desire to be happy all of the time. I've got to open the door, actually. It's getting a little warm in the car. So I was going to get some storage boxes, and I didn't feel like going in. I wanted to come and see you because I wanted to see, who else is feeling blue out there, that we can actually get this conversation going. What does that say? Neptune goes direct. Oh, that would be good, no doubt. Gosh, I can't see. Oh, I've got a pair of glasses here. For the next comment, I can put on my glasses. I'm trying really hard to get stoked up. Do you have to? What does that mean? What does what mean? Emerson's coffee. Let me know, what does what mean? What does trying to get stoked up mean? Or was it something that I said you want to know? What does that mean? Because, and anyway, however we're feeling right now, we could be feeling differently. But as I was saying, much of our source of happiness is maybe that's what you're saying, Emerson, our source of happiness is our desire to be happy all the time. And as Buddhist holders, that Neptune goes direct. I would imagine it's the person wrote it's probably positive. I'm not sure on that particular planet. But as the Buddha said, that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And so often it's our desire to keep the norm. And I was thinking about this morning, to keep things steady. But what in nature, I'm looking around and the trees are falling off the leaves. The leaves are falling off the trees. And a lot of the plants look like dead wood. And the rains are coming. And, in my mind, it's only going to get colder, darker, wetter. And that's just, that can be a mind fuck right there. Just thinking about that. For those of us that don't do so well in those cold winter months. And I suspect there's more of us than we actually know, because you don't know until you know. But it's that desire, so with the holidays, thinking that because it's the holidays, we have to stoke up, that we have to put on a brave face and we have to, gussy up. And we don't, right? Maybe there's a part of the holiday where you've got to do that. You're visiting your family and you can't really sit there looking like a... But I would also say to that is, if you find yourself somewhere this Thanksgiving that you don't really want to be, think hard for next Thanksgiving. Like, give yourself the gift of not making yourself go to places that you don't want to go to, and give thanks for it, Because I tell you, I would way rather be lonely and alone than lonely and with people, because sometimes I feel alone in a sea of 7 billion people as it is, just slightly odd and slightly odd, and but rather than trying to keep fitting in, which makes me feel more odd, just trying to see what that is. And so as I know that I'm not that great over the holidays, I don't tend to plan things. Thanksgiving was the only day that we generally went anywhere, and that was to a friend's parents. They're not having their usual gathering this year, so we've done that for about the last 6 years, and that's been the most beautiful place to land that you could ever wish for. But other than that, we will stay home, stay off the freeway, and actually I'll be fasting that day. So that's just my contribution to the giving thanks part. But I'd love to hear from you. Are you feeling blue? Are you feeling odd because you're feeling blue? Maybe you're in an office environment where everyone's talking, holidays, and there's chocolates everywhere which are just tempting you, or cookies, or chocolates and cookies, and maybe some wine, and maybe it's all just feeling out of hand already, and we're only at Thanksgiving. There's 40 days left at the end of this year, so I'm actually starting a 40-day meditation today, because there's 40 days left, and why not squeeze one last one in. Let me know if you want to join me. I'd be happy to do it with you. That would be kind of fun. I've been thinking about that. So I think that I've just been thinking about in the car as we're driving. So I actually think that it's going to be using the Kamari Manvir chant for Agre Name with a protection mantra, and doing 40 days of that, Agre. It's a really beautiful chant. And it's calling on that part of us inside. It's calling on that primal, that divine manifestation of who we are. And it's also calling on the primal power in the universe. And it's just, that just feels like it's the one to bring me home for the end of the year. So, I'm feeling a little blue, a little melancholy, and I did put a little bit of makeup on because I thought I was going to come and see you, and if you'd have seen me before a little bit of makeup, you'd have been like, whoa, Steve, that shit's kind of scary. Or maybe not quite, but kind of. And sometimes, it just makes you feel better. You don't have to put on a mask to go out into the world, but we put on masks all the time, so why deny it? But sometimes it can just help. You just feel a little bit more awake, a little bit more of the world. And as I said, I feel quite alone in a sea of 7 billion people quite often. So it is the most bizarrest of feelings. I'm sure maybe some of you can relate to that. Let me know. Can you relate to feeling alone in a sea of about 7 billion people? Yeah. Life is interesting. But as I sit here feeling my little melancholy, I recognize that quite often it's the holidays that do this to me, and that it's okay. I don't have to be ho ho ho, jolly jolly jolly. I do that for the rest of the year, and I can leave that up to other people. where are you from originally? I am from, see, I can see with glasses, like, I'm from England originally, Nottingham, Robin Hood country. That's where I was born. And I moved here first to San Francisco, January 1999. So what is it next year? 2018. This is my 19th anniversary coming up. Wow, 19 years in the United States. It's quite a long time. We'll have more of that coming up. I'll share some things. Let's see. So that means it's 19 years since I ran the marathon in December of 2001. No, so that's 16 years. And that was just before I left law. It's just after the fire. So this time of year is quite a pivotal one for me too, in that I've got a lot of anniversaries, and of course New Year's Eve for me is the anniversary of leaving my profession as an attorney and the life that I had created for myself, and the dream that I had. And then having to find out, if not that, then what? And if not that, then what? And it seems it's this. Quite a long way, really, from corporate securities. But then again, maybe not so much. Anyway, that's probably about all my melancholiness with you. Let me know if you want to join me in that meditation. Maybe I'll post it later anyway. And if you have joined me here, thank you live. It's always awesome to have you here. It really does feel like, as much as I can, that I can just pop in and we can have a chat. How brave of me. Thank you. I'm not sure what part's brave, but sometimes in life it seems that it's not that we can afford to. You are fab. Wish you the best. Thank you, sweetheart. Wish you the best as well. And here's Samaj back. Seems he's got his containers, wouldn't you say? Yeah, sometimes it's about whether we can do it or not. It's the fact that we just have no other choice but to do it. And that's happened to me a couple of times, both with the fire. That just after the fire, I couldn't keep living the life that I was living. I couldn't keep thinking the things that I was thinking. And once opened, you just can't deny it. Like seeing in Pandora's box or something, and just knowing what's in there. And I had it when I was doing Raw Foods as well. I was living with roommates, and at the time really thought I couldn't go and get my own apartment in San Francisco, but needed my own kitchen. So once I needed my own kitchen, I got my own apartment. So yeah, it's a many series of small. Those brave acts are just a series of really small steps, and but thank you. And ooh, there's a car coming that way. I'm going to leave you now, but not forever. I love you loads, and it really wouldn't be the same without you, so thank you so much for joining me. And if you too are feeling a bit blue over the holidays, take heart, breathe, and do make sure that you get as much time as you can on your own, away from people, so that you can kind of restore yourself, okay? All right, my loves. I love you loads. Sat now.